this is, I guess, the second take of this review. I've already reviewed this product once and it turns out I fucked it up by the numbers. So I have a replacement. Thank you Bunnings for letting me replace it. Basically what happened the first time around is that I didn't realise that with these, it kind of looks like, if you look at it really closely, hopefully that shows up on camera, if you look at it really closely you can sort of see that you have like a sort of indent in the top. And the whole idea for me was that, hey, you can just, you know, poke a hole in that and then that's how the stuff comes out. However, some people very helpfully pointed me towards Sally's DIY videos that show you the correct way to do it is to actually chop it off. Now, I'm still not totally believing that, because if you look at this very clearly, like it's very clearly not a part that you chop off because that's where the screw part is, right? But whatever. Long story short, I didn't make a big enough hole in this. That put too much pressure on the seal at the bottom of this, and then that meant that it leaked all throughout the Ryobi 1 Plus Caulking Gun. So this is a replacement unit. Let's do a real quick unboxing. You don't really get much extra stuff in this. You get a manual, which we are not going to read, and you get the gun itself. And that's it. Nothing else in the box. No extra bits, no fuss, no stuff. Chuck the battery in here. Thing I got wrong last time is that there's a trigger lock. You've got to press that down to put on. This trigger lock will also automatically engage as well. So if you stop using it for a second, the trigger lock will pop on and you've got to re-click that off, which is a nice touch. Out of the box comes out in full. You want to turn that right down to smallest unless you know you're going to need a lot of cork. And we'll pull that all the way out so we can load the tube. Now the biggest problem with this gun, and this is the thing I found the first time around, is that if you do fuck up like what I did, there's no easy way to clean this. Maybe a better designed product would have allowed, and I mean, this isn't just for me, I also looked at a lot of reviews from people that said that they regularly have problems with this gun causing tubes to explode and leak throughout them. There's no way to clean it, and you can't easily take it apart to clean it. So if you do have a problem like what I did, then you're kind of a little bit hosed. But anyway, let's try and avoid that from happening again. So this time, instead of just pressing something in the middle there, we're going to chop it off. You can actually see there that there is a hole like sort of designed for it to come out. So yeah, maybe that looks like everyone is right. And then we've got this. Now the other thing people said to me is that I should cut this away on an angle because it will help me line it up a bit better. Put that on. And I just want to see if I actually missed the instructions for this. So cut cartridge tip. Right, so that's the part that I fucked up. Cut cartridge tip, which we did. Cool. Would be nice if that was more obvious, but hey, I guess other people are better at figuring this out than I am. Is it going to fit? It doesn't quite fit, which is interesting because the last one fit pretty well. Alright, so we'll squish that in there. Wind that up. Maybe we'll go a bit faster. Cool. And then now I'll bring it back to it. Alright, so now we can actually start caulking. Here is some montage of me caulking this. So one of the other nice things about making a video showing how you fucked up is that you get a lot of tips for doing it better. So one of the things people said is that I should be using some soapy water to do the caulk, and then they also said I should use silicone glove. Sorry, not silicone glove, what the fuck am I talking about? Latex glove to prevent mold and contamination from getting in the silicone that I'm putting down, and also just to give a cleaner finish. The type of caulk I'm using, or the type of silicone I'm using, whatever the fuck I'm talking about, it is mold resistant. It's one of the reasons why I'm using it in the kitchen area, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue for the stuff I did yesterday. Now to do the old finger. So you can see that this is a lot smoother than yesterday, which is nice. It's also a lot wider than what I was doing, but I actually like the wider part. That's because I chopped the nozzle a bit more open. So that's pretty cool. I like that. So I had a few comments yesterday talking about, you know, what I should be doing with this, or that I'm kind of jumping stages, this house is going to be demolished in a short period of time. So think of this as a Fisher-Price practice house. Nothing I do here is important, and if I fuck it up, then it doesn't matter, and if I don't do a good job, it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to figure out some of these techniques. Cool. Could be better, could be worse. That's the caulking done today that I'm going to do. So moment of truth time. Let's take this off and see how bad it is. So I think this just pulled out here. And what we're hoping is we're hoping for a clean caulk. Alright, so let me give a revised review. And if you want to see that first disastrous video, you can have a look at that. But basically, like the gun, not a huge fan of how hard it is to clean if you do have an issue. However, if you're smart enough to prepare your tube properly and to go at the right speed that is going to allow you to do it, then I do think it gives you a more consistent feed of caulk than something basic like this. However, as people have said to me, you can get much nicer caulking gun, manual caulking guns than something like this. So, you know, this might be a bit overkill. Probably more than you need if you're just doing some basic DIY. I've got quite a lot of caulking to do, so I still think it could be worth it. And now I've figured out how to make it not explode, I'm a lot happier with it. In terms of comparing to normal caulking gun, it is definitely better, it's definitely easier. In terms of comparing it to any other type of caulking gun, can't comment. But in terms of the overall product itself, there's nothing I would change on this apart from there being a better way to clean this out if everything turns to shit. So maybe 7 out of 10. I think 3 off for not being able to clean it easily is a pretty fair assessment. And apart from that, you know, it's pretty basic. Doesn't look like there's anything that can go too wrong with it. It's a bit heavy. Might be a challenge for anyone that wants to sort of have fine control over something because it's so heavy. And then the other thing is just how much space it takes up. Like, you're not going to be able to get into any small gaps with something like that. So that could be an issue as well. But yeah, apart from that, solid product.